beloved community, we gather in unity. All are welcome here, all are blessed, and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community. Doesn't matter where you've come from, doesn't matter what you've undone, all that matters is you're here now. Keep an open heart, let Spirit work it out. Beloved community, we gather in unity. All are welcome here, all are blessed, and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community. Doesn't matter where you've come from, doesn't matter what you've undone, all that matters is you're here now. Keep an open heart, let Spirit work it out. Beloved community, we gather in unity. All are welcome here, all are blessed, and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community. Beloved community, uncovering who we are in our beloved community.
Ain't that wonderful? Good morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa. Thank you so much for our band, our choir, and the love they send out to each and every one of us. I am Tamira Hume, and I am really glad to be with you today. Welcome, live stream viewers. We are so grateful to have you from all around the world. And if you have questions about what is happening at our center, we have a website, CSLSR.org, and it's filled with useful information. There you will find our monthly bulletin by clicking on the photo of the typewriter. It contains everything that's happening throughout the entire month, and there is a really lot going on. We have small groups and concerts and classes and bake sales and so much more you don't want to miss. We also have a thriving youth and family program for your newborns or toddlers, elementary school children, and grandchildren. Our program keeps your children and grandchildren and teenagers, I forgot to mention them, get plugged into our community to discover and grow on their own personal spiritual journey. There are indeed a number of ways you can help with our youth program, whether it's helping your children get plugged in or through volunteering. Simply send an email to youth@CSLSR, and our youth coordinator, Jennifer Caldwell, will answer your questions, and that's Jennifer right there. We always point her out. Very wonderful and easy to talk to. We are very passionate about spiritual education at our center, and if you are wondering what classes are coming up this year, please pick up our education catalog at the info desk. There you will see all of the classes and workshops through June this year that will be available to help you navigate your own spiritual journey. We also plan to release a new catalog covering July through December, and that will come out in April. Keep an eye out for that. Reverend Russ is also available after service and via email should you have any questions. We also have scholarships that we offer, so please inquire about that should that be of interest to you. Now, would you please join me in speaking aloud our vision and mission as a community? The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. We follow this vision through the 5 core spiritual practices of our teaching. Would you read those with me, please? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, spiritual circulation. At our center, we use flowers to share our love and appreciation with one another. We have 2 beautiful flower dedications today. One is for Ushi Schnell and is from Suzanne and all of her best friends. And it says, "You have a remarkable history of selfless service to all, to the center and to all of your very best friends. We just wanted to celebrate your birthday and your beautiful memory." So for Ushi. Our second is for Susan Bennett, and it's from her practitioner family. And we say, your deep love of spirit, all of the volunteering, your facilitation of the jail ministry, the congregant renewal, spiritual renewals, your after-service prayer, all of the service you have given, all of the love you have been given as a practitioner has been a wonderful, wonderful gift. Thank you. Blessings to you in your new home. Love, your practitioner family. We would now like to extend a warm welcome to our first-time visitors. First-time visitors, could you please stand as you can or raise your hand, and we will bring you a flower and a welcome packet as a token of our welcome. Please remain standing or keep your hand raised so we might find you. If you are watching online for the first time, let us know in the chat because we're very, very grateful to have you join us. I know that somewhere between the music, meditation, prayer, practices, and Reverend Russ's message today is exactly what you need to experience the next step of your spiritual unfoldment. You are welcome here. Now, please enjoy some music before our short time of contemplation and prayer.
been a while. So I breathe into this atmosphere of divine grace, into the one that is permeating all things in all places, in every moment. It is that which infuses us with love, with joy, with beauty. And so as it is everywhere, it is right here in and through me. It is in and through every person that is attending in person or online, or those that tune in later, because it has no time. That divine spirit expression, call it God or love, is a timeless element. So as we breathe in, I just recognize and claim and affirm that this service today has a gift, a simple gift, whether it is just simply the beauty of the music and the harmonies, the grace of your own heart beating, the person next to you smiling, whatever connection there is, there's something that is to be gleaned from simply being present here and showing up. So for each and every person that has shown up, thank you for the gift of your being. For each and every person and activity that has happened beforehand to usher in this service, to make it just the right place to be. I just give great thanks. I know that something in the talk, something in the music, something in simply being present calls us into this moment of grace in a way that opens our heart and infuses us with more love so that we breathe in love and we breathe out love with every breath. So in this way, I give thanks for this time together and for the sacred service that we rest in, that we breathe in and live and move and have our being. So I release this word into the law and allow this magnificence to unfold easily. And together we say, and so it is. Good morning. I'm Claire Victor, a practitioner prayer emeritus, and I'd like to invite you to read the affirmation with me. Grounded in truth, I step forward into ever greater good.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Here we go now. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smile. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, about lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Ooh. There's a about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. It's about love, laughter, comfort and smiles. It's about love, kindness, hearts open wide. It's about love, passion, taking a chance. It's about love, service, lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. All right now, swing wide the doors. The time is right. The time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Can we give some more love to this fabulous center choir? Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Atreyu and Brett and Nick. And thank you, Lawrence Edwards, our featured singer today, who also happens to be one of our trustees. So he's doing double duty today. And a practitioner, too. Thank you. So welcome. I'm so glad to be here with you today and to have an opportunity to get to enjoy this with you as well. And today's talk title is New Now, What's Next? And that title gets me thinking about how I have been your assistant minister now for over 2.5 years. I know, time flies. And it's taken a while, but I finally feel like I'm getting to know you. I'm getting to know Jeff and Marcos and Jim and Susan and Marie and Don and Sherry and Gail, and I could list so many more names, but we'd be here all morning. And it's wonderful for me to get to do that because when I first came here to Santa Rosa over 2.5 years ago, I didn't really know anyone. And it didn't help that it was also in the middle of the pandemic. So it was really hard to get to know people. But I persisted, and so did you. And now I take a look at our beautiful center, and I can only say, wow. You know, especially when we hear that wonderful choir. Oh boy, I'm just so thrilled and delighted to have been able to spend this last 2.5 years with you, and I look forward to so many more. In fact, I have to say I don't really feel new anymore. But nevertheless, I want to talk today about newness and start our talk with that. Now, when I examine life with a capital L, from the spiritual perspective, what I see is endless newness. The body that I'm in today is completely new compared to the one that I was in yesterday. My mind and my thoughts are new today. I notice that I have an opportunity to make new connections, to learn new things, to deepen my connection to the infinite nature of life each and every moment that I am here on our beautiful blue and green ball of mud called Earth. So life to me, in its endless newness, speaks of a never-ending flow a never-ending movement. Sufi poet Hafiz shares in his poem, "A river understands this. I think a river understands me. I used to know my name, but now I don't. For what does a river call itself when it starts emptying into the sea, opening itself wider until it is one with the ocean? I am like that with the world, and in my union with all, you were there because you read this page." Now, I love that poem so much because it teaches me first that there are times when I need to be willing to let go of those ideas of myself and who I am to allow myself to have a deeper connection to the flow of life. And I notice that just as that river will soften the rocks along its bed over time, so too does Spirit soften those sharp edges within me that sometimes I cherish a little too much. And it teaches me that my uniqueness is never separate from the grandeur of the whole. It turns out that I am the river, but I'm also the ocean. And this also reminds me that when I am in the world, embracing its joys while also working through its challenges, simply sharing my voice from the grace of that flow of life within me, it can help others to share that flow too. Just as we heard our choir share their voices, that invited us into the flow of life, didn't it? Now, I'm so grateful that many of you shared your voice through the form of affirmations with our center this past Wednesday at our spring equinox potluck. And if you weren't there that night, but you're here in the social hall today, I invite you to take a look at the flowers that are on the tables out there, because almost all of those flowers have a little tag on it with an affirmation that was written by somebody here in our center on Wednesday. For themselves, sure, but also for all of us. And I know that each of those affirmations is its own unique expression of the divine. In fact, because we also have our online viewers here today, I wanted to share some of those affirmations with you. These beautiful flowers. And this one says, "I am the musical score harmonizing all of spring's wonder." Isn't that lovely? And then this next one here. "I delight in living my joy." This last one here. I like to stick together these affirmations. "Spirit is my light and my love." So when I hear those affirmations, I hear newness. That's what it means to me to know that I am connected, that I am moving, that you are moving, even when sometimes it feels like we're not. And in that movement, there are endless opportunities for us to share the voice of life with the world through our intentional words, our actions, and our song. And when I think about the flow that comes when I embrace that newness, I'm also reminded of the now, which happens to be the second word in our talk title today. That word now, we love that in New Thought, don't we? And I think that's because there have been so many spiritual thinkers over the ages that have spoken about the now moment, which is this idea that the only truly real thing is right now. And that the past, the future, these are only thoughts in our minds. Now, this doesn't mean that the past and the future can't inform our lives, so please keep on organizing your calendar. But the now moment, it reminds me that there is a real power in allowing my awareness to rest and focus on what is happening right here, right now. You feel that in the silence. So last week, Dr. Edwards shared a little bit of his story when he was starting out with Science of Mind, and I noticed I heard a lot of myself in that too. That what happened to me when I started to hear our good news, the good news that our teaching shares. And just like Edward last week, I too sometimes would forget and still do the good news. And sometimes find myself using my mind to focus and obsess about things that are completely outside of my control. Now, that's normal. That's part of being human. And it's no surprise, given everything that's going on in the world, that it can be really easy to get caught up in negativity. But because of our teaching, I know that when I find myself in that cycle of negativity, that rotisserie thinking in my mind, when I've got a very negative hamster running on the hamster wheel of my brain, it's a very negative hamster, I notice that I can check in with that negativity and just simply ask it, what is it that you're really trying to tell me? I don't want to bury it, I don't want to bypass it, but rather I want to learn from it because I know that that hamster is there for a reason. And when I do that, then I can choose to bring my awareness back into the present moment. And in that moment, I can ask myself, what's really happening right now? What's really going on? And when I settle into the silence, into the moment, I notice that I start to hear an answer, and it's less words and more of a feeling. That feeling tells me that I'm actually safe. It tells me that I am worthy. It tells me that I'm okay now and that I will continue to be okay. These inner answers, they reconnect me to the flow of life. And they remind me that I am the flow of that river, and I'm also the ocean into which it flows. You see, if I can truly know this, not just think about it, but really know it and embody it, it turns out that the details of whatever problem that I'm fussing about in that moment, those details tend to take care of themselves. And I notice that those parts of my mind that often resist doing whatever that right thing is, they tend to relax. And they relax because in that divine safety, they no longer have to try so hard to keep me safe. They're able to step back and allow me to focus on what's here right now. And when I can do that, that's when I can embody that spirit within. You see, those protective parts, they don't have to carry the load that they are often carrying for me. And boy, does that relieve stress in my life and the lives of everyone around me. Ooh. So this is the reason why I think that Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now has become an international bestseller. It tells us something that I think we all intrinsically know deep within the heart of our hearts, but sometimes forget in favor of all of those safe ways of being that we're told we have to be in the world in order to be safe. He talks about moving beyond survival thinking into thriving. And he shares that the way we can do that is by focusing on that moment, by letting go of the past and our attachment to what we want the future to look like, and truly living in this moment right now. What is happening right now? That's because in this right now, it's so much easier to recognize that something, whatever we choose to call it, that's so much bigger than we are. That's something that's wise, and it's compassionate, and it's curious, but it's also active, and it pulls us into being in the world. Really, he's talking about how do we find our way back into that flow of life. Now, in my work here at the center over the past 2 years, well, it certainly pulled me into the flow, sometimes kicking and screaming. But I have to tell you, helping this community to move from survival during our long pandemic to thriving now, and don't get me wrong, we are finding our way into thriving. That has been such a labor of love. In many ways, I think, we're still figuring out how to be humans together. What does that look like? Isn't that fun? And I have to say, it can be very challenging. It's one of the most challenging things I've ever done in my life. But the gift of our community, the gift that I often find that I receive from all of us here, from you, is that so many of us are living our lives like the river that Hafiz talks about. Your embrace of the flow of life has been such a gift, and I cherish it in my heart, and it's one of the many reasons that I love being here, and I hope that you notice that from each other too. That when all of us are in the flow, as so many of us are, that it uplifts everyone. So, holding on to that newness and recognizing the Spirit in this moment, that brings us to the third part of our talk title. What's next? Such a great question, isn't it? Now that we are out of the pandemic, that we're finding our way back into the flow of life, both individually but also as a community, I often ask myself that question. What's next? What is next for the Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa? What is next for the world? What's my part in what's next? What's our part as a community in what's next? It turns out that this year is our center's 70th anniversary. I know, right? And I don't think that we would have stuck around quite as long as we have if it were not for being in the flow of life. And if we didn't offer that flow of life through our teaching, through our community, through the unconditional love that we share for everyone who walks through our doors. So this tells me then where my answer to what's next might reside. And that's within that flow of life, within this present moment, which is sourced from the infinite Spirit that's behind all of creation, behind all of creation. Answering that question, what's next, invites me to embrace the flow of life in a way that opens me up to all that is possible. Because after all, the instant the river of my life meets the infinite ocean of that divine life, well, the water of my being could go anywhere then, couldn't it? Indeed, the power of that divine ocean to carry me and to sustain me means that I can do so much more than I can do by myself. And there's a really powerful and fun practice I learned to help me to find my way back into that flow of life whenever I consider what my future might bring. And that practice is called visioning. And some of you got to enjoy that practice if you came to my visioning workshop in January. And I know there are many others in our community. We have a weekly visioning call, and we have classes, many classes that teach about vision, and I'm going to be teaching one at the end of April. And that spiritual practice of visioning, at its most basic level, is about tuning into that singular divine moment, listening to Spirit, and thus finding our way back into the flow of the river of our lives. Now, I remember the very first time that I learned about visioning when I was just getting started on my own journey. And I learned it from a prayer practitioner at the Bodhi Spiritual Center named Linda Jackson. And Linda, if you happen to be watching, hi, Linda. And it turns out Linda became a minister in our movement as well. She's at Cityside Spiritual Community in Chicago and doing quite well there. And When I was listening to her explain visioning, if my memory serves, it was in a workshop, I was so fascinated. I was so fascinated that there could be something within me that was connected to this bigger something that was seemingly able to find answers, often when my thinking mind would come up blank. And I was equally fascinated by how I felt after I was done with that visioning practice. Because it almost was like the answers that I received, the words that I received, those were secondary because there was a feeling there. There was a feeling that what I desired in life was actually possible. Now, I would have a lot more opportunities in my journey to be able to practice visioning, and I recall I was taking Spiritual Principles and Practices, which is a class that we're going to be offering in September here at the center, and we visioned as part of one of our classes, and we visioned all together as a class community. And I don't remember what the topic was that we were visioning on, but I do recall clearly that when we shared all of our visioning answers with each other, it turns out that many of us received the exact same message. It was almost a little eerie, and of course we talked about it. We're like, this is so cool. And it was in that moment that I knew that there was some deeper mind at work within me that was finding its way out through this visioning process that we shared together. And so what I learned about visioning is this. It was less about the details of the message that I would receive and more about unlocking that feeling of infinite possibility. And this is so important, because I learned that when I'm able to embrace that feeling of infinite possibility that comes out of visioning, well, I find that I become less invested in any particular outcome, and instead I'm able to embrace the path, the journey, the process that leads me to the best possible outcome, which might look totally different than what my mind tells me. So this morning, I would like to give us an opportunity to tune into that divine flow of life. And I'm going to share a visioning process with you that I've modified a little bit from the typical questions that we ask to align it with our topic today, new, now, and what's next. So don't worry about writing anything down. I didn't expect anybody to show up here with their journals, even though I know some of you do. Today, what I'm more interested in you focusing on is, what is that feeling inside of you? That feeling of spirit, of infinite possibility. So, if it feels comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath, breathing in and breathing out. Settle into the rhythm of your breath and allow your awareness, your conscious awareness, to settle like a floating feather into the silence of this room. And in this moment, call to mind something new that you feel would benefit both you and the world, that you'd like to see more of. You might have an image of that in your mind, or if you don't do images in your mind, maybe you hear words or you have a feeling. Just tune into that. And as you tune into this feeling, knowing that there is a wise, compassionate, courageous, divine spirit at the center of your being, ask that spirit, what is new that I can embrace that enhances my life and the lives of all those around me? What is new that I can embrace that enhances my life and the lives of all those around me? take this moment to listen for an answer. It might come in words, but it may also come as a feeling in your body. Try to tune into what you feel as you hear your response. Now, settling back into the silence of this moment, allow your awareness to expand and rest in the spaciousness of this room. In that silence, ask the spirit within you, how can I better embrace the flow of life in this now moment? How can I better embrace the flow of life in this now moment? And just listen and tune into your feelings. And finally, remaining in this present moment, allow your awareness to rest again in the spaciousness of this room. Now ask the spirit within, what is next for my life and what is next for my community? What is next for my life and what is next for my community? And tune into your feelings. I invite you to take in another deep breath, breathing in. Let out a big sigh. Find your way back to this room. When you feel ready, you can open your eyes and smile. How are you all feeling? Good. I think a river understands me. I used to know my name, but now I don't. For what does a river call itself when it starts emptying into the sea, opening itself wider until it is one with the ocean? I am like that with the world. And in my union with all, you were there because you read this page. This is what it means to me to embrace the newness of life, to allow that life to flow through me, and to let that flow lead me into a new tomorrow. And so I invite you to check in with yourself and see, where is the river of your life going to lead you? Shall we take that into prayer? How good it is to know that there is only one life and presence and power that is the very essence and nature of the flow of life itself. That life is constantly moving, constantly flowing, constantly expanding and becoming more of its inherent good. And I know myself to be one with that, just as each and every person here today on our live stream, we are all one with that infinite flow of life. And so I claim for us here and now an opening of our hearts to embrace that gentle, divine, loving flow of life, knowing that it takes us to such beautiful places, knowing that it uplifts us, that it expands our hearts, it expands our ability to love ourselves, to love one another. And so it is so beautiful to witness the flow of each and every river here as we together make up that ocean of divinity in all that we say, all that we think, and all that we do in the world. I am grateful for that. And with this gratitude, I release my word into that divine law of mind that always says, yes, my beloveds. And I invite us all to seal this word together by saying, and so it is. So this is the time where we shift into that spiritual practice that you read about and spoke about in the beginning of our service called spiritual circulation. And there are many ways that if you choose to practice financially here at our center that you can share your financial good. The first is on our website. You can go to cslsr.org/donate and you can give online there. We also have text to give that is new and fun and exciting. I use it myself. It's very easy and fast. We will be passing the baskets today. We also, often people will send us a check. And if you're looking for our address, we have that on our website. We have that at the info desk. There's auto giving if you like to really just know that your gift is given every single week or month. However often you set that up, you can do that at our info desk. And, well, I think I just listed every single one. So before we dive into passing the baskets today, I do want to invite you into our offering ritual and practice. So if it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes again and tune into that feeling of infinite possibility that hopefully you are able to access during our practice today. And imagine that infinite possibility is growing, it's expanding, it's filling up this whole room. And imagine that that possibility is infusing the gifts that you give today. And I invite you to repeat after me. I bless my gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. Ushers, please receive the gift. And so it is.
Loving, inclusive community. We are grateful. Everyone is welcome here. We spread our love into the world. We are one. We are in unity. We are a loving, inclusive community. We are grateful. Everyone is welcome here. We spread our love into the world. We are one in unity. We are one. We are one. We are one in unity. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are in unity. We are a loving, inclusive community. We are grateful. Everyone is welcome here. We spread our love into the world. We are one in unity. We are one. We are one. We are one in unity. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are in unity. We are a loving, inclusive community. We are grateful. Everyone is welcome here. We spread our love
lot of fun, isn't it? Thank you, choir. Thank you, Chris. Let's give him a little more love. Easter Sunday is just around the corner. In fact, next Sunday is Easter Sunday. And each year, our community donates calla lilies to help decorate and beautify our stage. If you would like to donate some calla lilies, drop them off next Saturday at the center between 9 and 1. There'll be nice big buckets of water out there for you to place them in, and it'll beautify the stage. Our circles for spiritual connection are now open for new members, and it's for the spring term. If you are looking for a safe place to discuss spirituality and ideas that are shared each Sunday at a circle, it just might be that environment for you. We consistently hear back from our current circle members about how supportive it is on their journey to have a group of friends who are on the same page, with whom they can talk about the joys and challenges of living a spiritual life. The circles meet weekly for 8 weeks and are led by trained facilitators. We have groups that meet on Zoom, and we have groups that meet in person in Santa Rosa. If you would like to join a group and spend time with wonderful spiritual seekers, sign up today on our website by clicking on the photo of Friends in a Wheat Field. Today is the deadline to sign up since the groups begin in April. And as many of you know, our beloved William Abel is transitioning from this role as our facility manager. And that means we have an opening for this very vital part-time position in our community. If you're interested, please reach out to Chandra Farnsworth. You can get her email and address along with the job description at the info desk today. This is a fun and vital part-time position for our community, and we really look forward to reading your applications. Our teens are getting ready for summer teen camp, and they are throwing a bake sale next Sunday on Easter Sunday right here between 10 and 11. We are pretty darn blessed to have these delicious baked goods, and you can buy them, help them fundraise, and take delicious treats home. All of the proceeds go towards helping them attend the CSL's Summer Teen Camp that's in Oregon. If you would like to donate baked goods to help them fundraise, reach out to Jennifer Caldwell, either after service, or you can email her at youth@CSLSR. Thank you for joining us today. That's it on announcements.
Thank you so much, Chandra. And I really do want to give a shout out to our amazing teens. They had such a good time at teen camp, winter teen camp this year. And I heard from so many of them that it was transformative for them. So they're really excited about going to the next teen camp. And our youth coordinator, Jennifer, sent me how much it's going to cost. It's going to be about $1,000, I think, for each teen that they're trying to raise between the tickets for the camp itself and the transportation costs and those logistics and things like that. So they really appreciate your support, and I know they're going to have some really good baked goods for us this Easter Sunday, so I hope you'll check that out. All right, it is time for us to bring our service to a close, but before we do, if there's anything going on in your life, if you're having a challenge, or if you just want to have somebody help you find your way back into that flow of the divine that is at the center of your being, I invite you to take advantage of after-service prayer. We have prayer here in the sanctuary. You can go to the white table in the corner, and you'll be directed to a prayer practitioner who would love to pray with you. And we also have Zoom prayer online that you can go online if you're watching us online, and they will give you a confidential prayer online. And it's a really wonderful thing that they do. I know they love doing it, and I hope you'll take advantage of it. Okay, I invite you to stand as you're able and repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it. Just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. please know with me that you are never alone. That Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to turn within to know that there is a divine Spirit within you that is living your life in this moment. And I just invite all of us in this moment to allow that Holy Spirit within us to speak us, to think us, to be us in this world, knowing that we are that infinite, perfect flow of life. And so it is. Enjoy the closing music from our beautiful choir and have a wonderful week.